Hi and welcome to Leitrim Daily. My name is Breifne and you are listening to the Sports Roundup here on the podcast. It's episode 125 of the show and we are taking a look back at all the action of the last 7 or so days in the county. First up, we're going to be talking about the Under-16 Father Manning Cup, where Offaly unfortunately put paid to Leitrim's round-robin campaign at least 3-17 to 2-4 the scoreline there in that game played in Offaly last Saturday afternoon. Leitrim now go through to a knockout phase for the teams that finished in the same position as them in each of the groups. So they will proceed through those particular rounds. Hopefully they'll have a bit more luck in terms of the results at that level than they have had up to this point in the competition. 3 games played, unfortunately 3 defeats, 2 quite close against Meath and Roscommon, but a fairly heavy defeat against Offaly last weekend, unfortunately putting a rather sour note on the end of that particular campaign. They do proceed, as I said, to that knockout stage at the moment. At under 15 level, there was some action in the county. Division 1 final between Leitrim Gaels and St Joseph's, where Leitrim Gaels won out 2-10 to 1-6. I caught up with their manager, James Keane, after the game, and I also spoke to their joint captain, Robbie Casey, after the match. James Keane, county champions.
Absolutely, Breifne, and a good tight battle there now. We started well, to be honest. We started well. We got a goal early and we pushed on, I'd say, in the first 15 minutes. And I was talking to the Havas manager, Noel Short, after, and he said that was probably the difference. We got a goal early on, and that was the difference. They came back at us in the second half, and we were lucky to hold off, thank God, and we did. It was great.
Like you said, you're 6 points up after maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and you never quite lost that gap, even though the game kind of played pretty level from there on in. Would you be a bit regretful of some of the wasteful shooting at times?
Oh yeah,
because you were the better team throughout.
Yeah, and I think we went. I don't know what we went in at half time. We were up by maybe 6 or something like that, but absolutely, we missed a lot. But sure, look, at these are young lads, they've a lot to learn. They're young fellas under a bit of pressure in a county final, and more than Havas, our lads were nervous. And look, it was always going to be a tight battle, and they fought hard. We were very nervous, started to panic a bit in the second half. They came back, got a goal, I think, at one stage. Our boys got a bit nervy again, but we held out to the end, thank God. A few crucial scores maybe in the second half that helped us.
It's been a big year for the club, intermediate champions, now adding an underage title to the mix. What has the mood been like in the club this year? You're a former chairman, I know.
Oh, tremendous. It's been a fantastic year. Our intermediates unfortunately went down last week to Tulse, but we had a tremendous celebration, winning our first intermediate title. And we were telling all our young lads, these are the guys you want to emulate, these senior players. And they want to. We've young fellas out there in their final year, and we said, it's your final year under 15 boys, go out and win this county title. Look what the lads done there a couple of weeks ago in Pairc, and thank God we held out and they done it Breifne. So it's great year in the club though. Brilliant, thank God, brilliant.
Well, listen, congratulations. Enjoy the celebrations.
We will. Thanks a million, Breifne.
Robbie Casey, you must be happy with that result. Congratulations. County Champions has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, I'm very happy. We've worked hard all year and hard work pays off.
In terms of your speech, congratulations. It's not easy at 14 years of age to get up here and make a speech in front of people, but you initiated a new idea there for Havas and Carrigaline. It was 4 cheers rather than 3.
Well,
did you lose count?
I lost count, yeah. I lost count.
Or was it just because you've got Havas roots yourself, your dad from Havas?
Well, now it puts a bit more pressure on me now because of the cousins playing, so I've got to do my best now anyway.
What's it like playing against cousins like that in these situations?
It's big rivalry now, very big rivalry, so you're always trying to do your best what you can do and score as much as you want.
You never really looked like losing that early goal, scored a goal in the first nearly attack of the game, won 6 points up after about 5 minutes, and you never really looked like you were going to lose the game from there.
Well, you see, at the very start of the year we were kind of very tricky and slippy with the ball, so we'd be up at 1 goal at the start and they'd be up 1 goal, so put a bit more pressure on us there today. We worked hard.
What's the plan for the evening?
Actually, we'll hit the beer hard anyway.
You're underage.
Down to Donlands.
Yeah, I think Jerry might have a sign up not letting you in, but listen, congratulations and well done.
Thank you very much.
At under 20 level in the county, there was a full round of championship fixtures. St Mary's were in action against St Manachan's and they had a 2-point victory after quite a competitive game in Pairc and Shannon last weekend. St Mary's were 6 points up, 13 points to 7 with about 10 or 12 minutes left on the clock. An injury to Paul Keaney and a black card for Mark Diffley allowed St Manachan's back into the game. Now, who are St. Manachans, I hear you ask? Well, I didn't know until I went to the game either. It is Mohill, Clune and Esslin, an amalgamation of all three clubs. And St. Mary's just about had enough to hold them off despite that late rally, 13 points to 11. After the game, I caught up with St. Manachans coach and selector, Ronan Gordon. Ronan Gordon, Mohill, what's your thoughts after that game?
I suppose this time of the year it's not easy to come out after. Lads probably been out of football maybe for 2 or 3 months, and some of them there probably haven't kicked the ball in 2 or 3 years, we're saying, so we're trying to just scrape a team together there today. But I know it's good to get out this time of the year and just get lads a run. But the better team won in the day anyway. Pairc were far stronger, and we were kind of just lacking a few scores there in the end. But
Mark Diffley came off, black card, about 10 minutes to go. Paul Keaney left the game as well, and all of a sudden a 6-point deficit turned into a kind of a winnable situation. Any thought crossed your mind that you might actually get back into the game?
Yeah, Jesus, when the 2 lads went off, we were kind of thinking, I think we were 5 or 6 down, I think, at the time when the 2 lads went off, and it kind of happened in quick succession, and we were kind of thinking, geez, if we could maybe grab a goal here, you wouldn't know what could happen. We got a few, we didn't even get a chance to get a goal, but we got a few points on, and I suppose coming into injury time there, we thought we might scrape something, but the chance just didn't fall in the end. We were unlucky not to. It just to a 45 didn't fall for us there.
In terms of Mohill Club, how does the Under-20s team fit into the overall structure in the club?
Yeah, let me see, you've the two twin Harkins, Liam Rowley, Tig Mulligan there. We've a few senior players on that panel there, but I suppose the rest of the lads are they after minor maybe fell away a bit, and we were trying to get them to come up and play with the second team or that. So that's kind of probably the aim from this panel, is to kind of, I suppose, blood in the under-17s, and hopefully that they'll be eligible for senior football next year, blood them into our second team, and maybe get them playing senior football in the next 2 or 3 years. And I suppose with the other lads that are trying to get them back into football more or less.
I suppose with looking at the Mohill jerseys for the last hour and the Mohill logo on your crest, I keep forgetting this isn't actually a Mohill side. This is a St. Manachans side.
Yeah.
Who or what is St. Manachans?
St. Manachans, I suppose, was formed, I'd say it's about maybe 10 or 12 years ago. It's an amalgamation of, originally it was an amalgamation of Mohill and Esslin. Esslin, their underage club dissolved, so there were only maybe 2 or 3 lads. So anybody that was eligible, I suppose, were in the same parish. Esslin are in the parish of Mohill, so came in to play with Mohill. So it was formed. The club was St. Manachans was formed. So in maybe 5 or 6 years after that, Clune. The same happened. Their underage club dissolved, only had 4 or 5 players for each team, so we took it on ourselves, asked them if they wanted to come in and play underage football. Obviously have given lads a chance to play underage football, so they came in and under the name St. Manachans as well. So that was basically the. No,
because we were previewing the games last week, and I didn't want to ask what St. Manachans was, and I actually wasn't familiar with it myself.
Yeah.
Because it probably only makes an appearance every now and again.
It does. It's only for the up until under 15. Up until under 17 were Mohill, and them lads are registered with Mohill, but then when they go out to play with Esslin and Clune at adult level, it's then under 20 is now St. Manachans. It used to be minor and under 21, but it's just under 20 now is St. Manachans, yeah.
Okay, well listen, hard luck today. Enjoy your winter. It starts a bit early now, but winter is definitely setting in here at the cold.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know, you can feel it this time of the year. It's not the time of year everybody wants to be playing football, but I suppose the sunny days won't be too far coming around anyway.
Well, enjoy them next year.
Yeah, cheers, Breifne. Thanks very much.
I caught up after that match with St. Mary's player Paul Keaney and one of their coaches, Alan Doherty. Alan Doherty, manager of St. Mary's. Good start to the championship?
Yeah, just tight finish. We would have liked to have seen out the game a little bit better, so there's still stuff to work on going forward in it. But overall, happy with display, considering with so many lads making their debut at the under-20 level.
In terms of the game, 6 points up with about 20 minutes to go. You left it kind of tight for yourselves at the end.
Yeah, look, we didn't seem to push out that game enough, but a lot of that probably had to do. Mark Diffley picked up a black card. Obviously one of our better players, Paul Keaney, had to come off with an injury. There's not many teams can lose 2 of their best players and aren't going to be affected by it. But I was glad with the lads that went in that they'd seen out the game, and look, at win is a win is a win.
How important is the Under-20 Championship in the grand scheme of things within the club?
Well, I suppose we won the B last year. It was the first time we kind of got a group that was worth taking on their own. They had played in amalgamations before that, so in terms of the scheme of things and developing lads onto the senior, it's very important because it's the first protocol that they see of actual senior football. So yeah, we do take it seriously.
Next up you have a challenge of
Manorhamilton next week, as far as I know. Look, obviously they're after winning the senior and junior A, and we're in the junior B final, so a lot of their younger lads will be a part of those panels. So look, they're still going to be very strong. So look, we'll give it what we have next week, and hopefully we can we can give it a good game and hopefully maybe get to a final.
A very physical game today. Paul Keaney in particular came in for a lot of attention. How will he be fixed for next week?
At the minute we don't really know. He had to come off there with an issue. We'll get it looked at. We'll see what it's like. Paul's a bit of a warrior, so I expect him to be fine for next week.
Listen, congratulations today.
Thanks very much, Breifne.
Paul Keaney, you must be happy with that result.
Very happy now. We played a strong and older Mohill team, and we did well to pull away and get the scoreboard ticking and well to get the winning.
A lot of this team would be still under 18 if the minor hadn't changed back to under 17. Those lads coming up together the whole way through, you've had success the whole way through. How much has that helped with the development of this team?
It's helped an awful lot now, to be fair. We're used to playing together, and we're used to the style of play and everyone playing in the same positions and all that, so it helps us gel together as a team and just play good football.
I want to ask you about one incident in the second half. It led to you coming off injured, but you scored a phenomenal point. Went up for the kick out, got tripped, fell over, got landed on, gave a free against you, and you got booked. Can you talk us through what was going on at that point in the game?
Yeah, I was going for the kick out, and whatever way it happened, I got tripped up and I fell on the ground, and then the man behind me landed on me, and I felt it was a foul, and I said that to the ref, and he didn't like the back chat and gave me a booking.
You don't look comfortable, if you don't mind me saying. Your shoulder looks to be, or your what exactly is wrong with it?
It's just kind of my back. It's just a bit sore from the landing.
Okay, well listen, I'm not going to hold it much longer because it's cold and I want you to get in and get warmth into your body. Well done today, and best of luck for the rest of the championship. The other quarter-final in the County Under-20 Championship took place between Melvin Gaels, the holders of the competition, and McDiarmada Gaels of Ballinamore and Kiltubbard together, and it was that amalgamation which won the fixture 415 to 110 in the end. A fairly heavy defeat for the holders, and they bow out of this year's competition at the quarter-final stage. The semi-finals will take place this weekend. St Mary's, they play Glencar Manor, while McDiarmada Gaels face Fina St Callians. In the B grade of the Under-20 Championship, St Bridget's and St Joseph's both enjoyed big wins over Drumahare and Drumkieran respectively to set themselves up for a B Championship final in the coming weeks in the county. Now, last week on the show, we were joined by Sean Gallagher of Manor Rangers to talk about their game in the Sligo Leitrim Super League against Cliffoney Celtic on Sunday morning. I'm joined by Alan Hickey, who's the team captain for the side after their 5-3 victory away to Cliffoney. And I suppose they were 5-0 up in the first half and managed to hold on for a 5-3 win. Alan, sounds like an absolute game of two halves, effectively. 5-0 up, nice start.
Yeah, it was good now, Breifne. We prepared well before the game. We stuck to the game plan. When we didn't have the ball, we worked hard to get it back. And we pressurised Cliffoney Celtic at every opportunity we could. And we overturned them and caught them on the break. And lucky enough, on the day, we took our chances when they came our way.
Now, when you say we, you were one of the 2 goal scorers on the day. You got one, the 5th goal, but you were already 4-0 up with 4 strikes from Robbie Cunningham. Tell me a bit about Robbie.
Yeah, Robbie's a good lad. He's a good footballer, good, strong-headed, takes his chances when they come his way. Not alone taking his chances, he works hard off the ball, which is very important, the way we play in our team. Look, it's great to have a lad like him on our team. Every team needs a lad that can finish the chances when they come his way, and on Sunday he took his chances every time they came to him.
It seems to be a bit of a purple patch for Manorhamilton sport at the moment. Obviously senior champions in Glencar Manor in terms of football, Gaelic football, and also in the hurling final and the ladies final. How much does that culture around the town of sporting success help a club like Manor Rangers progress and keep competitive in the Super League?
Look, as we always say around the town, it's great that we have all these sporting events. The more people that play sport at a younger age, it gives them a better insight, even going into another sport, their hand-eye coordination, their footwork, whether it be soccer or Gaelic, even the boxing club there, everything contributes to help another sport as it goes on. As you see, many of the sports at the start of the year get used to the boxing club, get the facilities there, which builds up fitness. And look, at the more sports that are in a town, it's great for every organisation to be able to contribute to each other in that way.
How familiar are you with the new sports hub that's been created in the B Park?
Yeah, look, it's great. That's getting people out, getting them active, getting them aware of what sports are involved in Manorhamilton. And it's a great thing that, look, it gives people the opportunity to put their hand to something and see that they enjoy it and can partake in a sport like that.
Now, we have gone on a bit of a tangent. Let's go back to the Super League season so far. It's been a really good start for Manor. 5 games in, unbeaten, only the 1 draw, 4 victories. You've got to be happy as a squad with how the season is progressing.
Yeah, look, it's as we always set out every year, we try and be competitive in the league. It's not always as easy as saying what you want to do at the start and then actually fulfilling it in the games. But we've got youth into the squad this year, which have already brought experience from their coaching that they've been developed through the youth ages. So they're literally just slotting into senior positions and they're well capable of doing it. And that's a big improvement in what we've been seeing in the last couple of seasons.
You've never won the Super League title in the Sligo Leitrim League. Is there any excitement building about maybe what might be possible this year?
No, look, it's like every year. All we can do is control our games. So we'll take every game as it comes. We'll try and be competitive, try and get a result, and hopefully come the last couple of games in the season, we're in there with a shout and we can control it. It'll be in our hands at that stage, but we're a long way away from there yet.
Yeah, there's only 5 games played out of. How many games is the season? Tell us a little bit about how that works.
Look, you play every game. Yeah, have a home game and an away game with every team in the league. Along with that, we have cup games that we're involved in, and so it's a long enough out season with it. But that's the importance of having a big squad, so we can rotate players in and out of the team, along with players being away. So it's early stages in the season. We'll keep our heads down, we'll keep focused, and hopefully we'll fulfill the results at the end.
Now, we spoke to Sean, as you mentioned, last week, and Cliffoney Grange was the big obstacle this weekend. You've come through that. You're home to Strand Celtic next weekend, and then you've got a home tie in the Connacht Cup against Renmore. What's it like when you're playing those oppositions that you might not be that familiar with?
No, I suppose with experience with the Connacht Cup and that through it, you have to take, no matter what league they're playing or what division in their league they're playing, you have to take everyone on merit. Everyone's out to win a game. Everyone's there. It's always on the day with these kind of junior competitions that you have to be ready for it or else you get caught in the hop. Look at going back years in the FAI Junior Cup, we were always the underdog and we seemed to just pick up games and get to the last, 32, last 16 in competitions when no one would give us a chance. So you have to be aware that can happen to us at any day of the week. So preparation is key every week from game to game on how we're going to get a result at the weekends.
And in terms of the structure of the club, tell us a bit about how the senior side works. What kind of numbers would you have involved in that squad? And are they based locally? Are they based around? Or are they kind of coming home just to play games at weekends?
Yeah, we've kind of a mix now. We've lads that are away at college in Dublin and working in Dublin that'll be hopefully getting home at the weekends. They mightn't get home every weekend. A lot of our players are based locally around the North Leitrim area. There's a couple of lads that would have came out, that would have went to school in the comprehensive and now are based around Sligo, but they still are attached to our club. We've numbers ranging from the youth age from 16 up to as far as boys 36, 37 they're playing at the minute, and every one of them are a focal point in the team. The youth development is a big thing around Manorhamilton Rangers. We're not just a senior club, we have a big underage structure which is vital for the senior team, as every year we have younger boys coming through that are well capable of playing senior soccer.
No, it seems to have a really good intrinsic part in the community there. I know I really enjoyed your go-kart derby during the Wild Rose Festival. It was a great day out and just seemed to excite the whole community of Manorhamilton. So it's good to see when a club gets involved in that aspect of the community as well. Yeah, it's great. Look, we're not just a club for ourselves, we're a club that's part of the town, so anything we can contribute to help out the organisation of Manorhamilton and the surrounding area when events like that are happening, it brings a real community spirit to the area. Great. Well, listen, Alan, thanks very much for joining us. I know it's been a good weekend for you. Yourself personally getting on the score sheet is always nice. But in terms of the club, the very best of luck for the rest of the season, your game against Strand next week. I'm looking forward to following your progress through the Sligo Leitrim Super League season. In the Premier League, or the second division of the Sligo Leitrim League, Carrick Town unfortunately were beaten 5-2 by our Harps, their second heavy defeat in just 2 weeks. 2-0 down early in the game, a penalty from Ryan Dwyer and a late 2-0 down early in the game, a penalty from Ryan Dwyer before half-time and an early strike from Cormac Smith in the second half saw them peg it back to 2-2 before 3 strikes from our Harps were enough to put the Sligo side on top of the Sligo Leitrim Premier Division table. A tough pill to take for Carrick Town, but I'm sure they will bounce back from that defeat. In junior rugby, no game for Pairc last week in the Connacht Junior 1C division, while Sligo had 2 games at home. In the All-Ireland League Division 2B, they faced Corinthians of Galway, and despite a late surge, just couldn't get back into the game. 28 points to 17, they were beaten by their Connacht rivals. While in the Junior 1A division, Sligo were beaten 24 points to 11 by Tuam. And that, folks, is all we have time for today. A little bit later than we normally are in the week with the Sports Roundup, but we have been working away feverishly here at Leitrim Daily trying to develop what we offer to you, and I know you're going to be impressed by what we are going to be bringing to the table over the next weeks and months. Thank you so much for continuing to listen to the show and for getting to this point of the podcast. I will be back on Friday with the sports preview show for this weekend, while Orla McNabola will be with you tomorrow for the What's On guide of what's happening over the county over the next 7 days. Don't forget to check us out on our social media accounts. We have a very active Facebook group, as well as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and now YouTube, where you can listen back to all of these episodes on our new YouTube channel. Just simply search for Leitrim Daily on all or any of those particular social media platforms. Talk to you later in the week.